Hi everybody, so the TikTok I chose is How Not to Take Things So Personally by Frederik Imbo, and he filmed this 6 years ago in February of 2019. You can find the full talk in either TED's website or in YouTube, which is where I found it. So the instant that I read the title, How Not to Take Things So Personally, I was drawn to it because I found it like, interesting, because right away I reflected back on times where I took things personally. And I thought back like, wow, like I should have not taken that so personally, like I should have not let it affect me. And which is why I want to share this with you guys, because I do believe that, a lot of people really do tend to take things very personally and very to heart, to the point where it really affects our moods. So the public speaker is Frederik Imbo. He is a Belgian actor, a communications coach, and a football referee. He speaks about two key strategies, and the first one is realizing it's not about you, in which he means by, saying that often people's behavior reflects their own struggles, and it's not really about us, it's about what they're going through. The second one is considering their intention. So basically he means by, instead of us assuming they meant harm by a comment or anything they may have said, like, let's take a pause and ask them, like, what did you mean by that comment, or why did you give me that face expression when I was speaking? And the way he shows how these strategies works, and how it worked for him, because he dealt with, struggles of dealing with this kind of issues of taking things personally. He shares, his personal journey and real life examples. And the first one is him, being a football referee, and how, he would get yelled at and would get really bad comments about certain calls he would make. And also another example he would give is, when he's speaking in a speech as a communication coach, and he's, feeling ignored when someone is on their phone, and he feels like, wow, they're ignoring me. And he shows how, instead of him right away, thinking negative, he would actually, he started reflecting and thinking like, okay, well, maybe, it's about them, or they're doing this, or they got a call, an important call, or, they're stressed out about the game, and I really believe that his message is really helpful, and it really teaches us tools on how to stop taking things so personally. And the way he delivers this message is so like friendly, so honest, so fun, to the point where it's so easy to understand it and remember it. And he uses storytelling, such great humor, and it draws his audience so great that you could tell in the video how they're nodding, they're laughing, and they just they're reacting throughout his talk. And I believe, in my opinion, that that's a very highly effective speaker and a great speaker. So going back to the purpose of his talk, which is how not to take things so personally, I want to leave you guys with a question to think about and to really consider seeing his talk. And the question is, like, how often did you assume someone's action was about you, and how did it affect your mood?